Can you explain your prices?
Yes, ma'am. What does that say?
Sure.
What?
Sure.
And that's six pence.
Oh.
Yeah. No, D. The British have never gotten past using Latin abbreviations, so they use a D for pence because it means denarius. That's on their shillings. It's I forget the word, but it does start with an S. It's not that they're smart and got an S. It's the right word. And then you know when they say pounds, how they use that L. It's like a livria or livria. It's still a Latin word, so that's why they use such funny abbreviations. But that's what the prices are. And after 5 o'clock I give bath, but not tonight. Any other questions?
I'm sure he's a good master, but if he's not, would you have any legal recourse to complain about a bad master? But I'm sure he is a good master.
Oh, he is, Mom. He's a very good master. And he's a very generous master, because see, he got me these fine clothes. All I had were rags last time. And he got me these to wear. But now there was a lady that gave me this nice shawl. You see, she gave me a shawl. She didn't need it anymore. She put it in the garbage. So, there are some legal recourses that you have if your treatment is very, very bad. If you can get to the magistrates, you can complain that you're being treated very badly, but you better be able to prove it. If you can't prove it, then they'll punish you by adding more time onto you, and you get to go home with the guy you complained about. And you can imagine what happens when you get there. Then ones that we know that complained like that and then had to go home with their masters usually ended up dying, being beaten to death for a few weeks. So.
Your master's name's Toby. He looks like a Toby mug.
His name is Parson.
He looks like Toby.
I'm not sure, sir. He's calling you a Toby.
You ever seen a Toby mug? Got that same kind of outfit on.
I'm sure, sir. I don't know what you're speaking of.
Okay.
I told you last year a little bit about indentures. Did I tell you about the widows in the colonies? Did I tell you that? Did you know that in the colonies that if you were married to a gentleman who was in debt, which remember we're in a barter situation, we're not paying cash for everything we do, that if your husband died while he was still in debt, then you as the widow had 2 to 5 days to come up with all the money that he owed in cash. If you couldn't find that, then you could marry another man or have a man that would be willing to sign a piece of paper.
I'll be back, Maggie.
Yes, sir. I'm running out of that sort of thinking. If he'd be willing to sign a piece of paper and say, yes, I'll marry her and I will take on the husband's debts. If you couldn't find that, then at the end of 2 weeks, they would sell everything you had, sell all your children as indentured servants, and then you as the widow, they could sell for up to 39 years like this to cover whatever money he still owed. If you ever wonder why sometimes the women married so quickly, it was better than doing this.
I believe I'd run faster next time.
What happens if you lose your paper?
If they have to go back and redo your papers, then depending on who owns you, you're at the mercy of whatever they want to do. They can make up a date. But of course, a good man who will have to show the other side of the papers will show the date. Have you ever seen indentures? You saw the ones I handed out to the ladies here, yeah. On the indenture papers, there is a date there. But if he has to pay for more, then he's going to charge more years on me to be able to pay for any money that he's out. So.
Were most of the indentured Irish?
A great number of them were. In fact, there were so many that left Ireland at one time that the Irish Prime Minister wrote to England and he said, what are we going to do? Everyone's leaving Ireland. How are we going to do anything over here? So they tried to slow it down a little bit. But they really don't know. There were different reasons that they left. Ireland was a very poor country. And because Ireland was set up the way it was under feudal lord system. So the lords owned all the land. Most of the Irish didn't own their own land, so they worked as tenant farmers on it. So anytime the Lord wanted to do something else, he just kicked you off, burned your house. So you've got people wandering the roads trying to find work and jobs, and that's when the captains came up with the, thank you, sir.
These people over here are going to want to talk too.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So turn your people loose before too much longer, so they can do their presentation too.
Yes,
We want to be fair to our hosts.
Well, then they shouldn't have put the Irish lady first.
I've only had her 11 months. There's only so much that I've been able to do.
How am I supposed to teach people a decent way to do the laundry in only that bit of time? I'm sorry, sir. But not really. But don't tell him. I'm not seeing, I'm just telling. But anyways, for those of you that'd like to know anything else, I stay here, but you're more than welcome to move on to the other gentlemen. I don't want to take their presentation away from them. God knows they need a bit of help.